In 2005, Google pulled off what everyone called the dumbest deal in tech history. This is the story of Android. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. Today we're going to try something a little different. I want to take you guys on a history lesson. We're going to go back in time to 2005 and look at some of the things that Google did in the early years that had everybody laughing. $50 million for a dying phone startup, giving away software as free, massive mistake. Google loses its mind. All the critics were totally laughing in binary. But Google, they just whispered, hold my search engine. Flash forward to today, Google's dumbest mistake is worth $500 billion. And the reason you're not paying that Apple tax, it's Android. All because Google saw smartphones weren't the future, they were the future. This is the wild story of how the $50 million mistake took over the world. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Anton, a power engineer, industrial mechanic, and a Red Seal electrician. We cover all kinds of products and topics in an approachable way for the average everyday person. I'm glad you found us. So our story doesn't start in a billion-dollar boardroom. It begins in a tiny room with 4 guys and a mountain of instant noodles. Their dream was to build a smarter, friendlier phone experience. It knows your favorite hangout, your go-to music, heck, maybe even your coffee order. But the best part, they wanted the software to be free. We're not talking about free trial. We're not talking about ad supported. We're talking about take it, try it, break it, do whatever the heck you want with it, it's yours. Back in 2005, the smartphone arena was completely locked up. Nokia, with their our way or the highway approach. Microsoft, pay up if you want to play, charging manufacturers money to install the Microsoft operating system on your smartphone. And it wasn't even that good. And BlackBerry, no sharing ever. They were a monster back then. But where are they now? But giving away your core software for free? That was blasphemy. The critics pointed, they laughed. They bet the farm that Android was gonna fail, that Google was so stupid for even trying this model. They all thought that it would flop harder than a fish out of water. But Google saw past all that. They saw a world where your phone was more than just a phone. A world where that gadget in your pocket unlocked the entire world of the internet. You could have it available in your hands. What if we control the next billion phones? Google were thinking to themselves, what if someone else took over? They could block the Google search engine. They could force their own apps or crash Google's digital ad party. Remember Bing? Exactly. Most people don't. So Google didn't want to just protect their search engine. They wanted to own the internet. So Google buys Android Inc. for $50 million. This was also known as the greatest mistake in tech. And then Google played their wild card, keeping Android free for everyone. Want to use it? Go ahead. Manufacturers got it for free, developers got it for free, and the users? We got more choices than cereals in the breakfast aisle. Samsung, HTC, Huawei, LG, and even smaller brands. Android was everywhere. Meet the HTC dream. This is not the prettiest, but it was the spark that started a wildfire. Manufacturers loved that they could change everything. They could skin it with their own UI, they can modify whatever they want, and they could create the ecosystem that worked best for their brand or best represented their brand. They weren't stuck to the limitations that Microsoft incorporated with their mobile OS, which sucked. Want a few features? Yeah, go nuts. Want a pink unicorn theme? Yeah, why not? Dream big, my friends. And the beauty part was that Android let everyone join in. The modding scene started to explode, with users creating their own custom themes, rooting their phones so that they can install the vanilla experience without all the bloatware that a lot of these other brands were adding to their software. We're looking at you, Samsung. And while Nokia kept their vaults closed and BlackBerry clung to keyboards, Android became the cool kid on the mobile block. And by now, Android isn't just a hit, It's a complete takeover. More than 7 out of 10 mobile phones in the market were running Android operating system. Yeah, they were running the Google mistake, that $50 million mistake that they made back in 2005. But wait, Android's free. So how does Google benefit from having a huge stake in the mobile phone market? Yes, the genius of it all. Play Store, with the paid apps and advertising that all goes back to, yeah, you guessed it, Google. Billions of searches, ads running on every single phone. And yep, all that tasty user data. So Android itself is free, but the ecosystem is a goldmine, and it's one that the competitors, namely Apple, have been trying to keep their users locked up in because they also have their own goldmine ecosystem. Google weren't looking to just build an operating system. They built a global playground that was open for all. Now, those of us who are old enough to remember some of those first Android phones, you know that the promise was inspiring, and it was finally a free break from the ecosystem that Apple was starting to really get a stronghold on. But it wasn't the greatest experience, and it took a long time before Android OS really started to come into its own, to where it felt like one cohesive user experience. Yes, it was very clunky. You would open one app and it would just work a certain way. The visual representation would be kind of different from the rest of the phone. It didn't feel like an experience. It felt like an operating system that ran a bunch of different apps and different programs. It was a mess, but it was a free mess. And that was the big advantage that Android OS had over the other competitors. Because it was so customizable, you could do whatever you wanted. And now, today, the Android OS is much better than it ever was before, to where it's really, really good. And that's the real story about how a really dumb idea is the galaxy brain move that nobody saw coming. Because when you invest in possibility, you don't just win tech, you change the world. And hey, you're probably actually watching this video for free on a Google platform. Yes, YouTube is owned and operated by Google. It allows us to bring you content that you don't pay anything for, but you get to learn some really cool stories in tech and get exposed to other ideas that you maybe never even thought about. And you might even be watching it on your Android-powered Google phone. So now, who's the real genius? Thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech.